I have like 12 minutes of my break, but I wanted to do a raw, unfiltered St. Mary's rant. Well, it's not really a rant, but just an event that we went to the other night. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the first week of summer camp, and I'm also going to be eating my food because I'm hungry and I have very small time of break. A little mukbang type video, and we're going to talk about St. Mary's, and we're going to talk about everything else under the sun. So the first thing I'm going to eat is my little vegetable. This is some seasoned cauliflower. So we had cauliflower tacos on Wednesday. I might have put it in one of my food videos, and we might have had it in the, what's that? What did I do? My 3-day refresh. It might be there. I just wanted to make this a really simple little vlog, and like you guys are hanging out with me, eating lunch. Some of my favorite moments have been in the car with my friends. I feel like when I'm in the car with you, I get not undivided attention, but like you're not on your phone, you're not have hundreds of other people that you need to talk to. You're just sitting here focusing on the road. Well, that's if you're driving. If I'm driving, then of course you can do whatever you want, whatever. But I don't know, sometimes I just like undivided attention. My love language is quality time. I took a quiz, but also with platonic friendships, because you know I've been single my whole entire life. Definitely quality time, but there's also something about the physical touch. Again, I've never had a boyfriend. I've never been really intimate with someone physically.
I have gotten my hand held. I have like had people lay their head on my shoulder. And this kid at work, his name is Ben, he's the cutest, and he just like stares at you, and he kept crying the past couple days because he wants his mom, and that just like breaks my heart. But I let him sit on my lap for a little bit. It feels so good. So
I hope my kids kind of inherit that physical touch, and they're very cuddly people, because honestly I just want to cuddle my kids. Also, look at how cute my hair is. I don't know if you can see it. It's very cute. This shirt I think came from my neighbors. They've been giving me a lot of hand-me-down clothes the past couple months, so I feel like a celebrity where like I just get a whole bunch of clothes, like bags of clothes dropped off at my door, and my friend Kat also just gives me clothes for photo shoots and my birthday and Christmas and stuff like that. Summer camp is going good, and then we'll get to the St. Mary's rant. Me and my coworker Brianna, so shout out to you Brianna if you're watching this, but you're probably not. We are now the assistants instead of whereas upstairs with the e-learning we were running the ship. Every time I say e-learning, I now think of the Father Mark Homily.
School being e-learning and sport. It's going to be nothing but e-learning. Go to school, I'm happy that it's e-learning.
He said e-learning a lot, and I don't know. That's just all I think about nowadays is church and St. Mary's and wanting to go to adoration. So we're steering the ship now. No, we're not doing the ship. So there's a teacher or two who are more in charge than we are. So we just kind of sit back and kind of do like the behind the scenes work and help out with stuff that they can't do. All of like the little like, we'll be in the other room marching naps, and we'll help with bathroom breaks, and we'll I'm also doing aftercare, so that's kind of what I'm focusing on. We'll like help serve snacks, that kind of thing. So it's very fun. All the kids are pretty good so far. Everybody misses their mom, and it just breaks my heart, but I have a job, but it also just breaks my heart. But their moms and dads are doing what they gotta do, and I'm just trying to do what I can do. So we left off of our confession rant, and Father Mark had told me to ask God for things and just to bring back up those desires that I have deadened. And like I said, I sat there and I asked God for things, and then the next day I went to St. Mary's. Father Dindo's homily was great. I will leave that in the description box below. I went by myself. I felt really cute. I was wearing like a little black dress, not little, like a black dress, and it had it wasn't like a turtleneck, but it like came up higher, and I was wearing my wedges and my hair in a bun, so I felt really classy. And then Father Mark said Mass, Father Dindo said the homily. It was really great. Again, I'll leave it in the description box below. And then Father Mark said we have one announcement. I think it was one announcement. we're playing Ultimate Frisbee. We're gonna pray the rosary in the church, where we did Alex's praise and worship night, and then we will go play Ultimate Frisbee at the park that's right next to St. Mary's. It's for young adults, and I'm like, is God answering my prayer that I need more things to do and that I want friends? And also, since I went to church by myself, I needed a conversation starter to talk to Father Mark. He's leaving so soon, and just I like to kind of try to talk to him as much as I can, and especially if I'm the only one there, then that means it's my conversation and I can say not whatever I want, but you know what I mean, like it's between me and him, not me and him or dad or Emily or mom or whatever. So it was also a really good conversation starter. I signed up. It's all going good. Emily said that she was going to come too, so I was like, great, it's going to be just me and Emily. I asked Father Mark if he was going to be there, and he's like, no, you have to remember I do confessions until 7, but I'll try my best. So it was the day before we were supposed to go to Ultimate Frisbee, and Dad's like, yeah, Gaubrey's going, Callie might be going, and I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? But it's fine. Like, I love Gaubrey and I love Callie, and Sophia ended up coming, Jack ended up coming, Mateo ended up coming, and it was good because we had so many other people, but I'm just like, my whole plan is going to be ruined because I wanted to leave straight from work and go to adoration. But you know what, sometimes it's not always about me. But then Dad's also like, you know, Behold is tomorrow, and I'm like, excuse me? No, it's not, because Emily and I literally had this conversation. Behold is next week, and he's like, no, I'm pretty sure it's this week. And I was telling that to Emily too, and she's like, are you sure it's not tomorrow night? And I'm like, if it is on the same night as this Ultimate Frisbee that I already have planned, everything is going to be ruined. So I'm panicking, and I'm like, I will just email the parish secretary and ask her what night Behold is, because I actually emailed her a couple of weeks ago because our reservations for Mass were all cattywampus. We kept reserving spots, and then something would come up, and then we'd have to reserve new spots, and then something would come up, and I'm just like, okay, let's figure this out together. I emailed her the night before, and I'm like, so you probably won't see it till tomorrow, but it's fine. Well, it wasn't fine because she didn't respond, and now it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm like literally panicking, like if Behold is tonight, I'm literally doomed, and my whole, like, this is so bad. But I would choose to go to Behold because I made a promise to myself that I would give Father Mark, not give him attention, but I need to enjoy him as much as I can. So I ended up emailing Father Mark, and I was just like, hey, what night is Behold? I kind of explained it to him. In some spots it says it's June 9th, but in some spots it says June 2nd. So he finally responded and said, Behold is June 9th. So it was not the same night as Ultimate Frisbee. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I literally just praised the Father. I sang Good, Good Father by Chris Tomlin, because I was literally praying my guts out that it wouldn't be the same night as Ultimate Frisbee. And then, having planned to go to adoration to do my Shine Bright devotional, I just didn't get to do it, and then we didn't end up leaving until like 6:20, and I'm just like stressing out the whole entire day. And I get there, I go into a pew, and then Jack was already there, so he was already in a pew, and I thought we were gonna like split up like half and half because we had so many people, but we all squeezed into one tiny pew. And then one of my friends, she was there at the praise and worship night, and then I kept like, I always see her in church or whatever, we always wave. Her name is Hannah. She comes over to me and she's like, do you want to lead a deck of the rosary? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't really lead decades of the rosary even at home. And I forgot my backpack, so I'm like, go over, sorry, I got distracted because it was time to go back in. I was like, what if I go over or under with the Hail Marys? And I was like, oh, it was just very stressful. And then they don't have kneelers in that church, so I was literally just kneeling on the hardwood floor the whole time, like a half hour. I feel very proud of myself. But I made it through. It was really great. I found a prayer for seminarians, so I prayed that as well. And just kind of for Alex, because obviously, like, that's where I had so much fun with Alex on the praise and worship night. And just being back in that church always just reminds me of being there with him and Father Mark and all of the other people. So after that, we drove back over to St. Mary's in the park. And once we got there, I kind of just relaxed. Like, all my stress just kind of magically floated off in the distance. We started the game. And even some of the girls who were, like, helping run it were like, oh yeah, Father Mark's in confession, but maybe he'll come afterwards. And I was like, woohoo! And then you see a little tiny person. Well, he's not tiny, but from a distance he's tiny, in his little black priest outfit, and he comes and he's like, what's the score of the game, what's the teams, how's it going? And then he takes off his collar and he puts on different shoes, and before you know it, Father Mark is out there running around with us playing ultimate frisbee. I think he got to be on both teams because we kind of switched it up after we got to a certain amount of points. Even though I kind of suck at frisbee, I was just really happy that he played with us. And this might not even make any sense, but I feel like it was so good for everybody there. I know there's different priests with different ages, different priests with different ability levels, different priests with whatever, but just seeing a priest play with us, engaging with like teens, I feel like that was good for him to kind of get outside of his normal, do something fun. He's very athletic, and he always has been, apparently. It was good. It was really fun. But he said, if you saw my corn salsa video, he's leaving on June 20th, and I thought it was July 1st, so now, even more so, you just really have to enjoy the time you have with him. And I think that that's such a good reminder, for not only for Father Mark, but for everybody, that life is short, and to give everybody, to give your best friends, to give your family, whoever, to give them 110% of your energy, your attention, and your fun when you're with them, because you never know when the last time is that you'll ever get to hang out. I think that's all. I finished up work. I'm just ready to go home.
I'm not gonna text anybody tonight. I just need some alone time tonight. And then I'm gonna do a little graduation video, I think, for my sister, a little like graduation DIY thing. So I have to get some stuff for that, and maybe I'll just go to St. Mary's and sit there with Jesus. And yeah.
It's just slowly starting to hit me that he's leaving, and I'm very sad. But I'm just trying to think about all the things that I'm thankful for. I'm in the best spot spiritually that I have been. And I was just thinking about this on the way to church today. People, whether like you don't believe in God or you're like, you go to church, like people, sometimes they just go through the motions when it comes to faith. I don't know how to say this, but like go through the motions when it comes to faith. They're just like, they don't really care or whatever. But I'm 22, Emily's 18, and we've had this like jaw-dropping 360, or is it 180? 180, like our lives have just been flipped upside down spiritually. And I feel like people, A, either don't get that, or B, it's not when you're 22 going on 23 and 18 going on 19. So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just gonna blast some worship music on the way home because it's been one of those nights and I feel like I'm rambling. But ciao, babes. Hey, it's me again. Did you miss me? I was driving home, found a park because I was listening to Set a Fire, the Will Reagan version, I think it is. I just thought of something. So after we went to Ultimate Frisbee, it's like, I don't know, 8:30, 8:45. And Jack isn't here with us because he was waiting for his dad, so we're all just hanging out. And I'm like, we should just go into church. St. Mary's is open like at like this time to this time. And I'm like, they're probably still open. Let's go see. So I'm like trying to convince Emily, but Emily's like, no, you can go yourself. So I'm like, fine. So I open the door and I start like sprinting. It's like the
Running into your arms is running. And then it's like, run to the Father.
that's like what I was singing. It's fine. And I get in there and I like open the doors and there's like a guy standing there like the janitor or something. And I'm like, hi. And he's like, I was just about to close the doors, but you can like come hang out in here. And I was like, oh my gosh. So he's like, you can open it from the inside, but nobody can come in. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we go in and like obviously it's dark and there's just a couple lights on the crucifix and a couple lights like on the back wall. And I was like, okay, so now I'm here, like, not what do I do, but like, where do I want to sit? What do I want to like, God called me here for a reason. What do I do? So I just like walked up the front. I'm like, this is so beautiful. It's all dark. There's just a couple of lights on. It's cool, like temperature wise. There's nobody here. It's dark. I'm like, wow, okay, this is kind of cool. So I like kept walking up the main aisle, and then I went further than the first pew. So now I'm kind of like at the altar, and I just kind of like sit like in between the first pew and the altar in the middle, right in the middle of the aisle. And I just kind of like sit cross-legged, and I just like am staring at the cross, and then I'm like singing.
Set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, that I can't control, 'cause I want more of you, God. And I was like, there's no place I would rather be, no place I would rather be than here in your love, here in your love. And then I was like, no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up.
That verse. And I was just kind of like sitting there, and it was really cool. And then I keep getting like feeling my phone buzz in my pocket, and I'm like, okay, Jack's gone now. It's time to go back into the real world. And I was telling Emily, I was like, Emily, that was so cool. Why didn't you come with me? Dang. And she's like, Jesus wanted you to be there by... Wait, what did she say? Emily, if you remember, let me know in the comments below and I'll pin your comment. But she's like, Jesus wanted you to be in there by yourself. Sometimes you have to like go spend time with Jesus like without me or something. Not like to be whatever, like that sounds so bad, but just like, she's like, God wanted you to be there by yourself in that moment and not have me with you, and he just wanted you to do your own thing. And I was like, sometimes Emily just says the most perfect things ever. Okay, that was the end of my story. That moment was amazing, and I love getting to step outside of my comfort zone and my faith the past couple of months. I'm also sweating because I had to turn the air off because I don't want it to be loud and noisy. I'm gonna go back and finish my song. Yeah, but that was another really cool moment, and I've had a lot of cool moments the past couple of months, and for that I am very, very thankful. Now we're gonna say ciao, babes.